what does it look like, or with your clients, how does it show up in relationship? This wound with the masculine. So, kind of how relational dynamics work from a wounded masculine place, or hatred of men, or however that wants to look. And then what does it look like when a woman is really in her feminine pole and more in co-creation with the masculine?
Mm. Oh, even when you just say that, I feel myself melting, because you can really feel the energy of those two things, right? You can really feel the opening and the closing, and it's so interesting. But I find a lot of the times when I do see clients and women are holding this imprint of the masculine, or these paradigms or conditioning or beliefs, whatever you want to call them, in their body and system, they definitely have a harder time with connecting with life in general. I find it's not just because I feel like sex is life, right? Like sex is the epitome of like life creation, everything all rolled in, the mystery, the intertwining. And it's like it can show up physically in their bodies. So they can have physical pain in their bodies. They can have numbness, disassociation, disconnection in their bodies, all sorts of like PCOS, endometriosis, like all of these physical, real physical things, really tight pelvic floor, unsatisfying sex, like all of this can show up within their partners. And then I also find that they move through a lot of emasculation of men, subtly, without even realizing it. It's kind of moves, it's subtle little knives in their relationship and in their life, which I feel that you can then shows up in the physical. Like the physical is the last layer. So basically, if they're feeling all of these physical symptoms, it's already moved through every part of their being. Emotionally, they can be really closed in general, feel this sense of like calcification in their body and like hardening, closed to money, unable to receive money, unsatisfied. It shows up so much. And the dynamic is so off, and relationships are tougher. Like it's no wonder that I believe that we're seeing such a high rate of relationship breakdowns and divorces at this point in time, because there is this imbalance in both, actually, because men have been affected by this too, absolutely. And then, on the male side, on the masculine side, there's this whole thing about them being feminized at the moment, but I just believe that it's wounded masculine, right? It's shut down as well. It's closure. They're unable to receive this like opening and this essence of the feminine, which to me is like love and heart expression. And because they're cut off from that, because the feminine is closed in heart, they're unable to then fully penetrate. They're unable to show up fully in their masculine presence and like penetrate life. And that is huge in and of itself, like sexually, and then therefore what we're seeing around us in the world, because we need our men, we need our masculine penetration. We definitely need that. And then that's when you see it sort of really become unbalanced. There's nitpicking, there's projection, there's unresolved. They move into rupture really quickly and then unable to repair. And when they come together and when they work on that and when they start sort of balancing that out a little bit, and the feminine starts to open again and really give the heart again, and the man really stands strong and is able to penetrate and really hold and support. It's so powerful. Like every time I'm in that space with a couple, it actually shifts me internally. Like I'm brought to tears with clients because it's actually so powerful that it does something, not just to them, and like it moves around them to those. I know that sounds so funny to say, but I move to tears by it each and every time because it sends like an energetic pulse around them that just moves shit. Like it's just truth. It's just, I have no words really. I'm actually just blown away because it's rare actually that we get to see that and we get to feel that. And I believe that's where we're moving to. I believe that's where we've seen all of these pendulums swing and all of this erratic chaos. And it's so simple to move back into that space. Simple and complicated and brutal at the same time. Let's not be, it's all intermingled, but I do believe that that is the place where we're moving into. And to me, union and this reclamation of the feminine and this reclamation of the masculine doesn't have to look a certain way. So even though I'm talking about union and relationships, it's so much more than that. Like it's so much deeper. Like you don't have to choose to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? It's like union with all that is masculine, coming from that space that's like an embodied feminine and being in service, you know, like it's powerful. People can feel that. It's a transmission in and of itself to help, heal.
Feels like that co-creative space as opposed to we're against each other. It's like we're working together, and that can be just like you said with men, or it can be with God, or with just the men, you know, on the planet for sure, where it's not this war with them.
Not this war. And that's so true. And that's when we move into this, like you said, that co-creational, like weaving space with like not just our intimate partner, but with all things. And that's where we're moving. I truly have to just say that. It's putting it out there. It's happening. Yeah. It's shifting.
I believe it's truth too. That is definitely where we're moving.